As always with these sessions, do the best you can. If there's anything you can't do, either do your best version of it or just do a reduced version of it as well. But I'll be guiding you every step of the way to help you to find those adaptations that work for you. And as always, let's get started by getting ourselves in a nice relaxed position and start with some nice deep breathing going in through the nose, out through the mouth, and sometime over the next couple of breaths, when you're ready to, close down your eyes. And as you breathe in, just feel that oxygen coming in, lifting your chest up, inflating your lungs. And as you breathe out, just feel that relaxation happen in your shoulders. And just notice how that breathing deeply makes you feel. And relax down into where you are. And now in a bit more of a relaxed state, let's thank ourselves for being here today. Reminding ourselves that often the hardest part of coming to the session is turning up. So congratulate yourself for doing that, but also remind yourself over the next hour, let's stay focused on the breathing, the movement, and everything in between that we do in today's session so that we can get the most out of this next hour together here. Keep the breathing going as you're thinking that. Keep the breathing going still, but sit up nice and tall. As you breathe in, also almost imagine that you're getting pulled up through a string through the top of your head and it's sitting you up nice and tall. And as you breathe out, you can relax down a little bit. But each time you breathe in, imagine you being pulled up nice and straight. And as you breathe out, you relax down again. When you're ready to, you can open up your eyes, continue the breathing, but as we breathe in, we're going to shrug those shoulders up. And as we breathe out, we're just going to relax them down. And we're just going to go back and forth between breathing in, shrugging up, and breathing out, relaxing down. And link that with your own breath, however long it takes you to breathe in, shrug the shoulders up. However long it takes you to breathe out, relax them back down again. You don't need to time it with me. You can time it with your own breathing, but just nice, relaxed, shrugging movements here. Good work. Keep that going for a little bit longer here. Shrug up, squeeze those shoulders. Relax down as you breathe out. Let's do the same, but instead of going up and down, we're going to go forwards as we breathe out. As we breathe in, we pull those shoulder blades back together, squeeze at the back, push forward, and go back and forth. Breathing in as you squeeze those shoulder blades back. Breathe out as you push them forwards. Good. Keep the breathing going. You can make it a little bit more gentle rather than focused. But as you do so, let's just start to do some shoulder rotations there. Just nice, easy, round in a circle. Shoulder rotations. They don't need to be a huge range of motion on this. Just get them going around the best that you can do. But keep the breathing going as well as you do so. And let's change direction, go the opposite way. Good. Let's bring that breathing back in. But as we breathe in, we're going to bring the hands up to around about our shoulder height. As we breathe out, we're going to turn those hands over and then push them back down again. So breathe in, breathe out. Again, with your own breath, you don't need to follow my timing with this. Just make sure, however long it takes you to breathe in, that's your arms coming up. And however long it takes you to breathe out, that's your arms going down. So just keep repeating through that. Now, as we breathe in, we're going to bring them up. But as we breathe out, we're going to push out to the side and then relax down. Breathe in, breathe out. Good work. Now this time we're going to bring them up, but then we're going to push forwards and then relax down. Breathe in, breathe out. If you're struggling with balance on this, you can always do just the one arm out, if that's easier for you for balance reasons. And then you just swap over and do the other side. Or if you're able to do both arms, that's absolutely fine. Okay, now what we're going to do is bring it in and then push up and around and down. So breathe in here and then breathe out, up and around. So it's got to be quite a slow out breath because we got such a long journey back again. So just pace it all the way through. Slowly letting that air out. Good work. If you can't bring your arms all the way up over your head, just go as best you can, even if it's just a small range of motion. That's absolutely fine. Whatever you can do here, do the best you can with that range of motion. Good work. Okay, on this one, what we're going to do is take one arm. Now we're going to reach it across our body and then bring it right the way around and back into the middle. Let me take the other arm and go across the other side and then round and back into the middle. Push out and around.
This
Push
remind
across.
anybody else of Grease? Go Grease Lightning, burning
That's
that
exactly
candle,
what I was
whatever.
thinking.
It's exact. Thank you.
Yeah. Takes me back to my school disco. When I don't, you would call it like prom or whatever, but yeah, at the end of every year we would have a school disco, and Grease would always be one of the songs, and everybody would be lining up doing the dance. Push across and then reach around. Good work. Good. On this one, we're going to do something similar. We'll push across still, but then when we come back, we're going to come up and over the top and then down to our side. Push across to the side, up and over the top and back down. If you can't come all the way up and over, that's not a problem. Just come up as high as you can. It may look a little bit similar to the previous exercise if that's the case, but try and get it up just as best you can, up and over, and then relax down to your side. I know some of you already have started to get some extra range of motion. That's good. So just try and get a good range of motion on this. Maybe feel a little bit of a stretch as you come up and over the top. And on these two exercises, we get a little bit of a stretch as we come across there in our back, or like the top of our shoulders area. And then as we come up and over, that transfers into a bit of a stretch in that chest area as well. So we're getting quite a little bit of stretch in there as well, help that mobility and to help with that overall shoulder health here. Doing really well so far. Good. Let's just go into some shoulder rotations again, just to ease out of that. And change direction. Good work. Okay, we're going to do some more things in the stretching realm. We're going to start with stretching our lats. And to do this simply, we'll reach over to one side and then come back down and then over to the other side. What I want you to do though is each time you come up, count to somewhere between 3 and 5 seconds. And once you've done that, then come over to the other side. So somewhere between 3 and 5 seconds, hold it before moving over again to the other side. If you can't bring the arm all the way up and over like I am here, just like before, we can do it just as best we can. And if you need to as well, you can always support yourself as you do so using, well, I've got a drawer handle here, but you can use a table, desk. You can use the arm of a wheelchair if you've got arms on your wheelchair, windowsill, just something nice and sturdy if that's something you need to hold on to. And if you've only got one thing, you can always do a couple on one side, and then you can always switch around and then do it on the other side as well. So plenty of options there if you need that extra support. But just holding it for 3 to 5 seconds each time. Good. Okay, on this one now, we're going to bring both arms back. Feel the stretch across the chest. And then we're going to reach one arm forwards the best we can. Bringing it back, both arms back again. And then we're going to reach the other arm forwards the best we can. And just going back and forth between both arms back. One arm forwards. Both arms back. And the other arm forwards. Good. And again on this, you can hold each position for sort of 3 to 5 seconds as well. So just count 1, 2, 3, 4, or up to 5 seconds. Then reach forwards for 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you come back again, holding it for 3 to 5 seconds, and then again forwards with the other side, and just giving it that little hold in those stretch positions. Good. Well, let's do our rotate cuffs now. Remember, for this one, we've got 2 different options. I'm going to give the easier option first, but that's where we have the elbows touching to the side and we can rotate out and then bring it in. So just going out to the side and back in. If that's fine or you think you can do the next stage, then what we can do is have those arms elevated as we do this. So it's the same exercise. So the arms are doing the same thing, just elbows are raised in this position. So if you can't do this second version, do the first version. And you can always do this single arm if that's easier as well. Just do one side and then you can swap over and do the other side if that's something that suits you. Oh, that's good. Let's just do some shoulder rotations. We'll do one final little bit here before we move on to our neck exercises. So we're going to start with our palms together. We're going to reach up We're going to reach out, around, and back to the middle. And just keep going round on this. If you want to make it a little bit harder or a little bit more of a stretch as you do so, as you bring those hands together, try and keep those elbows together as well for as long as you can. They want to naturally separate and then bring it round again to the middle. So try and keep those elbows together as well as you reach up and through. It's good work. So the closer those elbows are together, the more of a stretch you're going to get across the upper back. Let's change direction. Good. All right, let's ease it off there and give it a little shake. If you need some hydration, now is a good time to do it. So if you grab those, and then we are going to do some of our neck and spinal mobility coming up next. Okay, no rush there on that. Feel free to take your time with the having a drink. I always say the hydration is very important, even though we're not necessarily getting our heart rate up. We're doing a lot of movement, and water helps to support that movement. So any sort of hydration you can get in is going to be helpful to do the best from this session. Good. Looks like everybody's back on screen, so we will get started with the next bit here. So get yourself in a nice relaxing position. And let's just get some refocus first of all with some nice deep breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. And we'll just do that for a couple more breaths here. Just to recenter and refocus ourselves. Okay, when you're ready to, let's just start going through some neck mobility with first with the flexion extension, which is just nice and gentle, looking up and down and going back and forth between the two. It doesn't need to be a huge range of motion, just a nice, comfortable one where you feel like you're getting a good range between the two. And if this or any of the future exercise we're doing here cause you any pain or discomfort, feel free just to shorten the range of motion if that helps. Or just skip the exercise if that is what you feel like needs to be done in the moment. Good work. Next time you find your head looking downwards, let's just hold that position for a bit and almost let gravity take over here. And for this in particular, especially those who've been here for a while, I try and tuck my chin in and almost try and curl my head over as I do this. And that just helps just to get a little bit more of a stretch in the back of the neck there. Rather than just having myself look down, I'm almost trying to curl my head over. And let's ease out of it. Do a couple of looking up and downs. And then the next time you find yourself looking up, let's hold that position. Now, this might be enough of a stretch for you, just looking upwards, but if you want to take it a little bit further, first of all, let's close the mouth. And that'll increase the stretch through the front of the neck. But if you want to take it even further, you take your hand roughly onto the sternum and gently pull down as you're looking up, as you've got the mouth closed. You should definitely feel a bit more of a stretch through the front of the neck there. Good. Well, let's ease out of that one there. A couple of looking up and downs again. And then let's go into our rotation. So looking one side, then the other, back and forth between the two. Just nice, gentle movements. Sometimes this can feel like the one where when you rotate to the side, it feels like the most compressed. On this, that's perfectly normal to feel like that, as long as it's not causing you any pain or too much discomfort, then it should be okay. But just nice, gentle movements either way. Okay, next time you find yourself looking to the left, let's hold that position. And again, if you want to take it a little bit further, so we're looking to the left, so we take our left hand, place it on the right collarbone, and gently pull diagonally downwards towards our right armpit. That's looking to the left, left arm on the right collarbone, gently pulling it diagonally downwards towards the right armpit. And play around with your hand position. I usually find on top of the collarbone tends to work best for myself. And you know when you get it because they'll feel like a stretch almost underneath your jawline. Good. Let's ease out of it. Do a couple of lefts and rights. And the next time you find yourself looking to the right, let's hold that position. Take the right hand onto the left collarbone. And gently pull that diagonally downwards towards the left armpit. And then ease out of it again. Do a couple of looking lefts and rights just to ease out that one. And then we'll go into our lateral flexion. That's bringing one into one shoulder, to the other shoulder, and back and forth between the two. And this is probably the one that feels the tightest out of all of them, if anything, which is perfectly normal and natural to feel that way. And the next time you find your left ear on your left shoulder, let's hold it there. This might be enough of a stretch. If it's not, we can take our right arm and put it down towards the ground. So if the left ear is on the left shoulder, then the opposite arm, the right arm, is going down towards the floor. And that might be enough of a stretch. If not, we can always bring the arm behind us as well, just to change it up a little bit. So again, a good stretch. Opening up the distance between that ear and the shoulder and closing this distance between the ear and the shoulder. Ease out of it. Do a couple of lefts and rights again. And then the next time you find your right ear on your right shoulder, let's hold that position. Feel that stretch between the ear and the shoulder. And then again, you can either drop one arm down or drop it behind you. And ease out of it. Good. Well, let's just do one last little thing with our neck mobility. We're going to imagine there's almost like a piece of paper in front of us, and we've got a pencil on the end of our nose. And we're going to just draw a spiral on that piece of paper, slowly getting bigger and bigger and bigger. We don't need to go really big on this. We just do a nice, easy, gentle spiral, slowly getting bigger and bigger. And then bring it all the way back around. So getting smaller and smaller now. All the way into the middle. Once you get to the middle, let's change direction and go the opposite way. And bringing it back in, making that spiral smaller and smaller, smaller. Into the middle. Good work. Just to ease that off there. Let's go into the rest of our spine now. We'll start with our flexion extension through our spine here. So you want to extend like a high jumper and we want to curl over like a shrimp and go back and forth between the two. Now, the first couple here, you may not get a huge range of motion, and that's okay. But the more you get into it and the more you do it, the more range of motion you'll be able to get. But it doesn't matter either way, because the main focus here is to actually get a range of motion. You don't necessarily need to worry about how far you can get, even on this. I'm not getting a huge range of motion, as you can see from the camera, but that's making a huge amount of difference to my spinal mobility. So it's more about doing the movement rather than how far you can do the movement. Good. Well, let's go into some rotation now. So rotate around one side, then round to the other, and go back and forth between the two, nice and controlled. And nice and easy. I am using my arms to assist pulling around, but I'm not trying to really pull myself around too much. I still want to be careful with this. I still want to just pull down gently, one side and the other. Good work. Okay, let's go into our lateral flexion. So that's where you just bend down one side, bend down to the other. I like to hold on as well. Just helps me to be able to get good range of motion, but not worry about falling out because that's not advisable to fall out of your chair. Good work. Okay, and let's come around as if we're in a whirlpool now. Just round in a circle. And change direction. And then bring it into the middle and give it a nice little shake off. Let's have another hydration break. And I'll be back in a second with my drink as well. Good work, everybody. Some really good movements, really good breathing stuff that we've done so far. We've got 20 minutes left of the session, so let's finish it off just as well as we've done the first 40 minutes here. Let's reset ourselves first of all with a little bit of breathing. So just go in through the nose, out through the mouth. And we just refocus and recenter ourselves again. Good. We're going to go through some Tai Chi-like movements now. And with this, essentially, all you got to do is just nice, gentle, easy movements the best you can. Because of the nature of this, sometimes it does ache in the shoulders. So if you do need to take any rest at any point, feel free just to put your arms back down and then just join back in when you're ready to, especially if you're not used to doing this sort of thing. Okay, so for this, we're going to start off nice and simple. I'm going to raise the arms up to around about your eye level and then bring it back down. It's just nice and simple. We're just going to go up and down and back. So just nice, easy, flowing movements. I almost want you to think of this as one movement. It's not up, then down. It's up and down. So just one nice flowing movement. Do it in your own time as well. So just nice, gentle, easy movements. Good. Let's add some variation in there now. So we're going to come up to the left and back down, up to the middle and down, then up to the right and down, back to the middle again and down. Then we're back to the beginning. So it's to the left, to the middle, to the right, to the middle, then back to the left. And we just go through those for a little bit here. Yeah, let's rest it there. We're now going to come up to the left. And when our hands are up here, we're going to drop the left hand down, almost like we're giving somebody a hug. And then we're going to drift 1, swap the hands over, drift 2, swap the hands again, and drift 3 across. Then we come down to the right side. Then we're going to come back up the right side. Both hands around about eye height to start with. Then the right arm drops down. And again, almost like you're giving somebody a hug. Then we go 1, swap the hand positions, 2, swap the hand positions, and 3. And then coming back down to the left. Then back up the left. Left arm drops down. We go 1, switch, 2, switch, 3. And then down to the right. If you feel like you've got it, feel free to go in your own time, in your own pace. Otherwise, we're coming up to the right. Right arm drops down. We're going to go 1, switch positions, 2, switch again, 3, down to the left, back up to the left. Left arm comes down, go 1, switch, 2, switch, 3, down to the right, back up to the right. Right arm comes down, left arm stays up as you go 1, switch, 2, switch, 3. Good work. Okay. On this one, what we're going to do, I haven't done this one before. I'm going to start introducing some new ones for you. it's very similar to what we did earlier, but I want both your palms facing up, and then you push out for one side and then come round like so. Again, both arms facing up. We push the left arm out to the right and then come round like so. It doesn't need to be a huge range of motion. Just kind of come out and around. And what I want you to imagine is almost like you've got bowls of water on each of your hands here, and you try not to let them spill as you come around. So it's nice range of motion, but you don't want your hand tipping like so, because otherwise you spill your water. So just whatever you can do circle wise with that. Okay, so just nice, simple circles. It's not a huge range of motion. Just going around like so. And what this is doing is teaching us control, especially in those wrists as well. I know as I come around here, that wrist wants to tip over, and I'm trying to really hard to keep it in line. So it's keeping good balance, good focus, and good control, but also it's adding a little bit of a stretch there in the forearm as well. Now what we do, it's the same thing, but we're going to go the opposite way. So we're going to come round and then in. So round. So the best way to think of this is go out with the arm and then go round and then pull it in. Go out with the arm, round and pull it in. Once you've got the movement, try and focus on those bowls of water, remember? Don't let those hands tip over. Good work. Okay, on this next one, we're going to imagine almost like we've got a washing line and we're going to hang up our washing almost. That's how I always picture anyway when we're doing this. Not that I've done that in a long time. Usually they're too high up for me. But essentially, imagine you've got a line there. You're going to peg one peg on, and then you grab, imagine it's a towel, and you bring it all the way across, and then peg with that hand. Then you're going to bring this hand over to that one, and then bring it back. And you're basically just going back. And do. So you got, say the left hand's here, the right arm comes to join it, then the right arm goes back. This time the left arm comes to the right arm and then goes back. Then the right to the left and back. And then the left to the right and back. This is the one that it may ache your shoulders a bit, so feel free to relax them and then bring them back in if you need that little extra bit of rest. Or you can just reduce the height of what your arms are as well. So you can just come lower as well. That's not a problem. You can do a hand towel, not a full bath towel. So, or just a little flannel. You just a little. Good, and then rest those arms down. Seeing as that one means that we keep our shoulders up for a while, let's just do some shoulder rotations there just to ease out of that and almost give them a little bit of a reset. Let's do that. Just going to check where we are time-wise. Good. 10 minutes to go here. Alrighty, we are going to give yourself a little shake off there. We're going to go into our meditation now. We're going to do two today. We're going to start with our body scan, and then we're going to go into one of our visual senses meditation as well afterwards. So To start with, we're going to do our body scan. I'll explain about it and then we'll go into it. So essentially what we're going to do is check in with every part of our body. Now, there may be some parts of your body that you can't feel or sense or whatever it may be, but we're going to put some attention down into those areas and then see what comes back. And for me, I can't feel below my chest, but I still put the focus and energy in there and just to see what comes back in terms of just any sort of messages or any sort of differences that I may see. The idea of this is to listen to your body essentially for every single part of it and to see what it's telling you. Sometimes if we have other things going on, for example, let's say you've hurt your wrist or there's just a lot going on in your life and you're not being able to focus on yourself so much, this gives you an opportunity to check in with each part of the body individually and see how it is. The more often you do this kind of thing, the better idea you have of what like the baseline is. And then you'll know if certain things feel particularly good, fairly neutral, or it's starting to feel like a little bit off, or whatever it may be. And we're not trying to fix anything here. We're just trying to listen to our body and see what it's telling us, okay? So when you're ready to, we're going to close down our eyes and just do some nice deep breathing just to refocus here. And I'm going to be guiding you every step of the way, so just follow along with me. And first of all, let's bring all your focus, or as much as you can, right into the top of our head. Now, this area doesn't actually have many nerve endings, so it's actually not as easy to feel the top of your head as other parts of your body. But just put the focus and attention into the top of the head and see if there's anything that comes back. Good. And at any point during these parts, you feel free to move like the muscles or the joints or whatever it is, or even if you want to give them a poke and a prod with your hand or whatever it might be, that's absolutely fine. But now let's move down into our forehead, and I like to give this a bit of a wiggle in the forehead and just see how it feels. This area gives me a good indication of if I've got any sort of underlying headaches or whatever it may be. Especially with my spinal cord injury, a headache can usually indicate an area of discomfort in somewhere I can't feel. So just having an idea of maybe even just the tiniest of ones can give me an indication that something's going on in my body. But at the moment, it seems to be fine. As we move down now into the eye sockets and the cheeks area, and this gives a really good indication of your eye usage, or at least for the day. So it could be that you haven't had much sleep or you've been staring at a screen all day, whatever it might be. If they're starting to ache, those are the two most common causes for that. But if they feel good, maybe you're well rested, maybe you've had some time outside and got some fresh air, whatever it may be, and those eyes are feeling a bit more fresh. Let's go down now into our cheek, our mouths, our jaw. Again, you can move it around and see how it feels. Mine always feels like I've used it a lot over the last hour, which is obvious from what we've been doing. But your mileage may vary on that. Let's move around to the back of the head and where the head sort of meets the neck. And we're just going to go down through our neck. And again, you can give it a little bit of a wiggle, a little bit of a movement. And after these sessions, usually it feels quite good to move it around. We've given it some movement, given it some stretches. So it might be a little bit achy, but it's probably moving quite freely in this moment, which is good. It's exactly why we do those movements, to help with that mobility in the neck. Let's go to the bottom of the neck now, where it reaches the shoulders. And we're going to go outwards out to the edge of our shoulders there. And we can give our shoulders a rotation, give them a wiggle, and just check in and see if there's anything, how it feels, if there's any discomfort, any pain, or just even if it just feels good. And again, we did a lot of mobility work here today, so they're probably feeling quite loose, but maybe a little bit tired as well. And that's absolutely fine if you feel that way. Let's move down now through our arms into our elbows. And again, we can move our arms to get an idea of how those biceps and triceps feel, how the joint feels, and seeing how it goes. Obviously, as a wheelchair user, if you're a manual wheelchair user especially, you may get discomfort in the elbow joint. So just making sure we're getting good mobility, seeing how it is, seeing how it's feeling as we move down now through our forearms into our wrists. And again, an area that even if you're a manual wheelchair or even if you're a power wheelchair user, the wrist can start to ache a little bit. Using those controls all day or pushing the chair all day can get some achiness. So get them moving there, see how they feel. And you can move right the way down into your fingertips as well, if you can move those. And seeing how that is. Good, let's bring that focus all the way back up into our torso, and we're going to go through the rest of our spine now so we can give it a wiggle. And again, it might move quite easily. We're starting to go into the areas that I struggle to feel with a bit more. So I just like to give just a little bit extra attention here to see how it is, but more about how it's moving rather than how it's feeling, because I don't have that sensation. Going around into the front of the torso, the chest, the tummy, and seeing how that is. The digestive system is very important, so how's that feeling? Is it bloated? Is it feeling good? Whatever it may be, just focusing on it there and seeing what information it's giving you back. Again, we're going into areas that I can't feel, like the hips now. And you may be the same or different, whatever it is, but I'm just going to send energy and focus down there and see what comes back. It may be nothing. It may be a little bit of indication that it's feeling all right and I'm getting good range of motion just by wiggling the hips. Or it might be feeling more stiff than usual. Doesn't matter what it is. We're just paying attention to it and listening to it and recording that as information for ourselves. Going down now through our upper legs into our knees and seeing how those are too. And then going down through the lower legs into the ankles, the feet, and the toes. And feel free to give those toes a wiggle if you can. If you can't, just almost imagine you are trying to do it, putting that focus down there, that energy down there, and seeing what comes back. All right, we're going to keep the focus right the way down there at the bottom. What we're going to do now, though, is 3 nice deep breaths together. And when you breathe in, I want you to imagine that you're almost filling your body with a white light, starting from the tip of your toes, and it's coming all the way up through your body to the top of your head. So when you're ready to, breathe in. Breathe out. 2 more times. One more. Breathe. And as you breathe out, keep the eyes closed. We're going to go straight into our visual meditation here now. And I want you to start to open up a scene of a forest for yourself. So eyes closed and just start to imagine that forest scene in your mind. I need to picture either something you're familiar with or something completely made up or an amalgamation of different places you've been. But a forest scene where there's trees, there's a woodland, there's bushes, there's paths, whatever it may be, start to really build it up within your mind's eye. The colors, the textures, the sun, or the light coming through, whatever it may be, just start to build that up in your mind and create as much detail as possible. Are there other people there? Are there animals there? Is there a path? Is there leaves on the ground, bushes under the trees? Whatever it may be, start to build up that scene, get a picture of it. Good work. Keep that there. Keep that as rich and as full as you can. Really emphasize on the colors and the textures and all those kind of things to give yourself the best possible image of this. Now let's start to bring some sound into it as well. Imagine there's wind going through the trees and it's making a noise. Maybe there's some birds chirping, some animals making some rustling noises, whatever it may be. Just start to picture the noise there. Maybe some crunching of leaves underfoot. Whatever it may be, just start to really vividly picture it in your mind with the visual, with the sound. And let's start to get some feel in there as well. So I want you to try and maybe feel the wind coming through and seeing how that feels. Maybe feeling the temperature of the sun coming through the trees, or even reaching out in your mind's eye and touching a leaf or a branch or whatever it may be, and just start to bring that sense of touch into it as well, whilst also with the sound and also with the, a, vision too. Good. Good. Okay, we're going to slowly start closing down that scene now today. So just bringing those scenes down, slowly fading that forest away as you bring that focus inwards. In this moment, I just want to, first of all, thank you for coming today, but also I want you to thank yourselves for turning up, for doing the session, and for doing the best you can, remaining focused throughout. So whether you want to give yourself a round of applause, pat on the back, however you want to congratulate yourself, do whatever feels good to you. But when you're ready to, you can start to sit up nice and tall. Take another couple of deep breaths in, and when you're ready to, you can open up your eyes as we bring it back to the room. Well done, everybody. Really good work there today.